Typically it's level funded. We are waiting on a contract renewal, as I mentioned last time around. Right now, we're going with a level funded budget from last year. We actually appropriated at the annual town meeting 2.1 million, but then in November, you remember we reduced it by 300,000 to bring it in at the 1,825,082. So essentially, the budget is level funded at this point in time. Awaiting the contract. Once we see those, we'll make a determination if we need to make an adjustment to the budget.
So the update will be,
We should have it within the next couple of weeks, but I would vote on this number. We'll be good with that. If we have to amend it, we will.
okay, any comments or questions on the trash enterprise? Motion to recommend trash enterprise, the amount of $1,825,082 from taxation.
No, it's from the track receipts.
That's what I thought, but
Yep.
the warrant says taxation.
Yeah, it's from receipts. Yeah,
It says by taxation, by transfer from available funds or otherwise.
it's the otherwise.
The other way. Make a motion.
So should this be from trash receipts?
Yeah, that's how it would be voted. That's
That's
how we voted from transferred from trash receipts.
I know, but that's not what they write in the warrant for
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, well, that's.
I understood that also, but
Yeah.
I thought because it was in the warrant, that must be the way we're supposed to say it.
Yeah, it may very well be the language that KP Law gave us. It's kind of consistent with what they've done always, so. Why they do it that way, I don't know, but it is trash receipts.
From trash receipts. Is there a motion?
So
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Recommended 6-0.
Five.
1, 2, 3, 4 is
Uh,
Jack.
5-0. 5-0.
Yeah.
Jack, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I'm here.
okay, good.
Article 3, water enter.
Good companies.
Article 3, water enterprise. $4,077,000, $77,540 from water receipts. We discussed this one last week. Are there any additional comments before we vote? Motion to recommend? Second?
Second.
All those in favor, aye. Opposed? Recommended 5-0. Sewer enterprise,
Check.
Article 4.
He didn't make a noise in that thing.
We discussed this one last week, $1,724,876 from sewer receipts. Any additional comments or questions?
Just a question for Jesse. You have 5 people missing. Are they from any one of these specific departments on the enterprise funds?
So we're short 5 individuals. We still plan for it accordingly as if we would be fully staffed, but there are a mixture of people from
Okay, so
water.
you got the
sewer.
7 days a week. then.
Yes, yep, absolutely.
Just a point of information, the select board. The select board will be looking at holding a public hearing to consider a rate increase for the sewer budget in particular, because this one, we have had some increases over the last couple of years, and we will be at a point where we'll actually be looking at the first rate increase in 10 years, but that will be undertaken in June specifically for sewer,
After the town meeting.
after the town meeting, yes.
Are they gonna be looking at water too, Dennis?
Yeah, we will be looking at, there's a rate study going on right now. We hired you probably know, an independent contractor. So look at all of them, but we know the other enterprises are fine as far as getting through next year. We should be looking at rate increases for them. But the sewer is the one line item that's very tight. it has limited uses, as you know, about 25%, 30% of the town is on sewer. So it's very much dependent on the rates. We keep that budget very tight. There's not a lot of retained earnings at the end of the year for that one, so. That one we need to keep a close eye on, so we will be looking at a rate hearing in June for that one anyway. But that's just a point of information.
Any other comments, questions? Motion to recommend sewer enterprise in the amount of $1,724,876 from sewer second receipts. Motion to recommend. Second. Second. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Article 4 is recommended 5-0. Article 5, stormwater. $887,864. Water gross receipts. Discussed this from last week. Are there any additional comments or questions?
Do we know how much we have in retained earnings in that account?
Retained earnings for stormwater.
We do.
The retained earnings on that one are somewhat substantial when you look at the amount, but that's because what we do.
We have
with the-
$876,419.
But the idea of building up the retained earnings is so that we can do these projects, which are very expensive.
Well, the reason I asked that, Dennis, is because Lakeshore Drive, we get that little section that's about a quarter mile long. It's been hanging on forever,
Yep,
and it has to do with drainage, I believe, as well as, so.
that's exactly what that could be used for.
So perhaps we should probably look at doing that or scheduling it somewhere down the road. Sooner than later, so that we can take care of that problem and that whole section will be wrapped up.
That is in the works currently. We are having that designed as we speak.
Okay.
Is that the part that's down the hill from the development?
You go down Scott, was it Scott Road?
Yes.
Scott,
Hill Road?
no, Scott Road, and you take a left. And as you head around the lake, there's one section that hasn't been done yet. And it's a mess,
Yeah.
compared to, we've done about 9/10 of the lake, around the lake, and this is just 1/10 left.
Okay.
And it's been a pain for the road committee. And it's, and I can understand the neighbor's frustration. Wait a minute, they did how come they didn't do my section right here? I mean, if we can get that and the works get done. Be good.
Motion to recommend.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, aye? Opposed? Article 5 is recommended 5-0. I would like to do some of the easy ones. Article 6, conveyance easements.
You done with Jesse? Is that right, Jesse? Oh, capital, okay, don't do that.
This is a recurring one every year. There's no funding. Anybody have any comments or questions?
No.
Motion to recommend.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Article 6.
Jesse's still here. He's got 2 items on capital and one is under 50,000. If we can get that done tonight, we can let it go.
Article 6 is approved 5-0. Purchase of surplus equipment. Another one in the warrant every year. There's no funding. Anybody have any comments or questions? Motion to recommend Article 7.
So
Second. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Recommended 5-0. Article 8, town property auction. Again, this is every year. Recurring article, no funding. Anybody have any comments or questions?
how much stuff we have hanging around in surplus down the yard?
It's getting there. We're gonna get to a point where we're going to want to do an auction. It's not as large as we've had in previous years, but it's getting there.
Right.
Is that personal property or real property?
Vehicles, things of that nature.
Personal property?
Yeah, personal.
I'm pretty sure this article only applies to land, not personal property. Anyway, motion to recommend.
So,
Second, all in favor, aye.
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 Recommended 5-0. Article 9 is, there's no funding for that, that's the same article every year.
Just authorization, yep. The
Okay.
chapter 90.
Article 9, highway construction, this is in the warrant every year, no funding. Formality, really?
you're getting the 490,000 this year.
This is 570, I think.
570.
Right.
Any other comments or questions? Your motion to recommend,
So moved.
second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Recommended 5-0. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, capital requests. The first I have is for additional paving, North Main Street.
Says North Main Street, it will be North Main Street and other roadways. That there'll be a little bit surplus there, so the way that will be classified, Joe, is so that it'll be available for the road committee to make recommendations on the balance of that,
Okay,
so.
yeah, because we have actually more than enough money to do it.
Right, they came in low, so we'll have additional funds.
Okay.
That 500,000 is for North Main Street as well as other roadway improvements throughout town.
When this was originally proposed, we had not yet bid the project. We did receive results, as Dennis mentioned, they came in favorable, so this request remains in an attempt to pave additional roads throughout Bellingham.
Yeah, but you're not looking for $1.7 million.
Nope, 500,000.
So this form is a capital request for 500,000,
Correct.
not,
It's in total, it's a summary of where the funds, were anticipated to come from for the North Main project. So we had, the FY 24 operating budget in the amount of 463,000, FY 25 operating budget in the amount of 200,000, chapter 90 for 540,000, and our additional request, our capital request for 500.
what's going in the warrant?
The capital request itself would be the 500.
500 in the warrant, the other numbers are not in the warrant.
No,
Correct.
yeah.
And the source of the funding for that capital request,
Free cash.
free cash?
Yeah, free cash.
We have free cash left over for that.
Yeah, it was about $2 million in free cash.
Make a motion to recommend
Motion to recommend 500,000 from free
free
cash.
cash.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor, aye.
Aye. Aye.
5-0, recommend.
Next up, we have, the replacement of well number 11. Give you an overview on this. Well 11, located, at 73 Rentham Road. It consists of 4 separate wellheads.
Okay, where are you?
Oh, sorry.
It's not the next page.
Oh.
It's underwater, but Jesse, there's the one here for, the security cameras.
I can, I can jump to that. We'll come back to that. I think.
Whatever you want to.
Yeah, we could jump to that. Oh, okay.
Where we going?
Security cameras. We'll
Staying on the
go
same
to
tab.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
I'm not gonna say the next page.
So these are, the request is for security cameras and alarm system. This would be used at, our current DPW facility, our treatment, plants, as well as our new DPW facility at 215 Depot Street. This is the, initial price of $24,906 is what we received as a quote.
Both buildings?
Yep, so actually, both buildings at 215, are you speaking of?
Actually,
It's gonna
I'm
be
sorry,
three.
both locations,
Yes, correct.
all
Both
buildings,
locations.
both locations.
Yep.
This
It's a total of 12 cameras.
this isn't phase one or two or phase
Nope.
one or three. This is fully equipped,
Correct.
both locations
Correct. All locations, yep.
from free cash.
Yes, free cash.
Motion to recommend $24,906 from free cash for the security cameras and FOBs.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? Recommended 5-0.
Next up, we have the replacement of well number 11. This is phase one of two. Our request is going to be for the the initial hydro engineering, process design, and bidding in this project. This will replace three of the wells, 3 out of 4 of the wells at site 11, which is on Rentham Road.
So phase one is 265,000, but the total cost, including 265, is 710
That is correct.
in the funding source,
Retained earnings,
retained earnings.
water retained earnings, yeah.
It's construction to be done this year.
It's
Phase one this year.
designed to be done this
Phase two
year.
next
Correct. Anticipating all goes according to plan. Nothing, so yes.
Comments or questions? Motion to recommend.
So moved.
Well, 11. More than $65,000, water retained earnings. Second,
Second.
all those in favor? Opposed? Recommended 5-0.
The next item we have is for the sewer main, excuse me, the sewer main replacement at the middle school. We're requesting $100,000 to repair existing sewer main at the middle school, which has been a reoccurring issue, seemingly worse over the years. We're having constant backups, constantly needing to jet the line and have services come in to resolve the issue. So we're proposing to correct this issue.
That's recommended to be funded through free cash.
Free cash,
Yes. As Jesse said, that it's become more chronic with the backup at the school, so it's something that obviously we want to get it done this summer.
So is it more common property in the street or?
It's right where it comes out of the building, so it's fairly close to the building. It's the lateral that leads to, or you can describe it better than I can, Jeff.
Yeah, actually, in this area, the sewer main actually runs behind the building, so a similar configuration to what you'd see out in the street, except everything is reversed. It's same idea though. So the main itself backs up, causes flooding in the proximity of the building. And then essentially we get a contractor involved to jet the line, remove the block, and sewer flows as it should.
where does the pipe run to?
Eventually, this goes to the Charles River Pollution Control District.
I understand that, but I mean, is it going down Blackstone Street down to that pump station that they're having problems with in their subdivision, or is it going out to the street to the main, you know?
This here runs down back into Old Bridge Sewer Station.
Okay, is there a dip in a pipe that's causing that stuff to back up?
We're under the impression that that is the cause, yes.
You know exactly where, at what point?
We have an idea of where it is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yep.
you're gonna dig that up to remediate it, or?
That's the plan, yes.
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
yeah, so that's why it's confusing. The other sheets have a line 9 funding source. This goes from 8 to 10. There's no line 9 funding source. That's why I was confused.
Interesting.
Even. But it is free cash.
Thanks for bringing it forward.
Motion to recommend the $265,000 from water retained earnings.
Oh, no,
Uh,
no,
I already did that.
Yeah.
All right, page. Which one's next? Sewer.
Sewer, it's 100,000. So we did the 265.
Motion to recommend $100,000 from free cash. Second, for the sewer main replacement of the school. First, second, all in favor, aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Recommended 5-0.
It's going out to bid, Jesse, you're doing the invoice.
This will be something that we have to go to bid for, yes. That's all I have.
Did? All right.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you.
And I'll let you know what. Thank you.
So, Article 12, 13, 14, where we amend fiscal year 2024 water, sewer, and stormwater. Are we gonna pass over those this year?
At this point in time, I don't know that we have any, requests on those. You know, Heidi, is any?
I don't have any
At
yet.
this point in time, we have nothing to present on,
All right.
Yeah.
About Article 10, amend 20,
on all of those, 10,
10,
11,
11,
12,
12,
13,
13,
and
14.
14.
Looks
Right.
like we're gonna pass over.
At this point, it's still early.
Okay.
That's the budget. If there's a shortfall somewhere,
Okay, so right now we have no action to take.
yeah, no action.
What did you want to do next? Anything specific, or do you want to go over specific line items in the general fund?
We can go over, specific line items if you like, because 17, for scheduling purposes, I would have the police chief come in. For Article, 17, if you want information on that. For Article 18, which is Blackstone Valley, I would have Dr. Fitzpatrick come in, because they're talking about, replacing a roof there.
So Article 17, was there a public hearing by the Board of Selectmen on that item?
I wouldn't say there's a public hearing though.
No, because there's no funding, and if they had a public hearing, we don't get to vote on that.
Okay, yeah,
So I don't want to vote on something I'm not supposed to.
okay.
I don't want to upset anybody.
Yeah, no, they did not vote on that, and, it's pretty much reaffirming what we already did at town meeting. We already went to town meeting once and petitioned the legislature to have us removed from civil service, but there are some delays there. And what's being recommended is communities can just basically have town meeting authorize it. So we're gonna try that route and see if it passes muster. So it's similar to what we already did. It was by agreement with the police union. So it's nothing new. If you recall, we did it, I think, last fall or a year ago last fall.
And there's no funding with Article
No funding.
17, it's,
Yeah,
okay.
so it's just basically reaffirming a vote that we previously took to remove our police department from civil service. Okay,
Those who are civil service now will be civil service till they
and
retire.
they still follow by the civil service rules. And as I say, that was all negotiated and agreed to with the union, so there's no
Yeah, okay.
disagreement there, so.
I just wanted, I don't want to vote on something we're not supposed to.
Yeah,
under-
no, I don't, so if you're okay with that, you don't even need to bring the police chief in, because that's what he's gonna tell you, that we're just
Yeah,
affirming a
yeah.
previous vote. So if you're good with that, that's fine. Good.
Could you find out though if the select board did have a public?
They
hearing?
didn't,
You sure they didn't?
yeah, they did not have a public hearing on
It's
this,
negotiated settlement.
yeah.
Oh. Okay, so you just mentioned 18. So Article 19, I think, is the same thing. Was there a public hearing on that? Because there's no funding.
Yeah, there's this, let me just see, that's a general bylaw, so no, there was no public hearing, so. We feel, you could have the police chief come in for both of those if you wanted to, if you're gonna come in for that one, because that is by him. Then you might as well come in for the civil code.
Okay, so if we have to vote, could you ask them to come in for
Sure. Tina,
Just to give us-
yeah,
I can check.
a
17
brief,
and
just
19.
give us a brief summary so that we
Yep.
can take a vote on it, since no other
Yeah.
board, okay?
Yep, absolutely.
And Article 20,
Article 20, the planning board will hold a public hearing on that.
And there's no funding.
There's no question.
So we're not taking any action, not passing over. We're just not taking any action because we can't.
Somebody else is taking the public hearing. Okay.
Deed in lieu of foreclosure.
Yeah, we're just basically, do you want to speak to that, or are you familiar with that? We're basically accepting a piece of property as open space that's a part of that subdivision. Never should have had taxes accrue on it, so essentially, we're taking it in lieu of foreclosing it. It's not, but then the property owner has signed off on it. It was an open space associated with the,
This is for a specific piece of property.
a specific piece. It's identified there, map and page. Book plan book.
Where is it, Dennis?
It's Taft Estates, which is the one where the drive-in used to be.
Okay,
It's the open space that,
behind it?
yeah, that was provided. It was a cluster development, so it was actually the 40B. But there was open space provided to the town as part of the project, but it just never was conveyed, so it was on the tax rolls. This is a way of getting rid of it, getting rid of the liability.
So you don't think there was a public hearing on this?
Would not have been a public hearing on it.
All right, so motion to recommend Article 21,
So,
second? Second,
Second.
all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Recommended 5-0. Revolving fund, Article 22.
And we're increasing the limit on inspectional services up to $80,000. And,
That's just increasing the current limit from.
yeah, increasing the current limit. There's a tremendous amount of work that's going on in that office, so this allows them to bring in part-time inspectors when necessary.
But this is something the town wants and you support.
Absolutely, yeah.
Anybody have any comments, questions? Motion to recommend Article 22. So moved. Second,
Second.
all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Recommended 5-0. Opioid settlement.
Yeah, it just sets up the vehicle on which we can spend these funds. A lot of attention in the news recently about the opioid settlement, and how much money has been distributed and how little has been spent. Because there's a lot of red tape associated with, you know, how communities set up the funds once they're received. So this allows us to set up a opioid settlement stabilization fund. And the money can be used for those authorized uses.
Which is what other towns and cities must be doing the same thing.
Same thing,
And you support this.
yes, in the.
So Article 23, is there a motion to recommend? So moved. Second, all those in favor, aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Recommended 5-0. Article 24. This should be easy.
Yeah, we're just getting rid of unissued borrowing authority. We didn't have to borrow for the dominoes, so we're getting rid of that authorization. This is a very old septic improvement, one of those Title V articles that we did not utilize and do not need to, so we're just taking it off the books as an authorization. This is what we have to do.
We've done this before on.
Yeah, it cleans up borrowing authorizations.
Motion to recommend Article 24.
so
Second. All those in favor, aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Article
And we
24 is recommended 5-0.
We won't have anything done on 25, 26, 27, or 28 for a couple of weeks. So we'll have
Nothing
to,
tonight.
yeah, we won't have. All right.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go through that list.
Right, yeah.
Can we go through some specific general fund? Accounts, but I would like to do it in a different order, starting with the largest dollar amount and working our way down. Is that okay?
Yep.
I think the larger ones are easy. I think, what I want to do is I want to go over the large numbers individually as we go over them, so that we'll let the record show we go to the large numbers. So 992 group insurance, $7,650,000. That's health insurance, right?
That's health insurance, yeah.
what number do you have? What number in our book is that?
I don't know.
Is that on the spreadsheet?
That's on the spreadsheet.
Yeah. I couldn't put that out.
That's why I struggled.
27.
27 things.
Same number as last year, right?
Right.
So we must be running a positive number in that account, right?
We're running well. As you know, in the past, we tried to beat that up when we
Yeah.
can. We likely will be recommending some free cash to put in there as well, just to make sure that that's stable.
For June.
Likely June, possibly November, but definitely June.
So I did print some of these out this way, if that would help.
But,
But that's the number that we're requesting from Article 1, 7 million.
so if I remember correctly, the money that gets appropriated in this general fund line item gets transferred to another fund.
To a trust, right, health insurance trust fund. I don't know if you, that's what speak to
Does
that.
that fund have a balance in it right now?
It does.
About,
It's, right now, I think it's probably around 3 million, but we had a big hit for this quarter, so I'm not sure where we are right now. But we have a healthy balance in there.
so that's a question, that's a comment I always forget to ask. So it's about 3 million, but
Your phone wants to go.
But the way the town's health insurance works, if one person has an issue, that could hit.
We have reinsurance, anything over 175,000, we have insurance on our insurance. So if it goes to, say, 500,000, we cover 175,000 and our insurance kicks in and we get
So in
reinsurance.
my example, we would have to have 5 people that had health issues, and it'd be 175,000 for each
For
one.
each, yes.
And that's what the 3 million is covering, 175.
It's, yes, it's covering that along with other expenses that we have. I mean, obviously, we've got, we've got service charges for the insurances. The stop loss, that is our reinsurance, we have to pay for that. So we've got an annual premium, pay for that. And we have to pay out for the health insurance, the Blue Cross Blue Shield and Harvard Pilgrim. They have membership per member fees that we pay. So there's a few different things that come out of it.
What kind of fund is that?
It's
a trust fund.
Yeah, so the money
Trust
does
fund.
stay in
It
from,
is a trust fund.
yeah, it rolls over, yeah.
Anybody have any comments on that item?
If we're gonna adjust it to the June town meeting, should we wait on voting?
No, you can vote on that. If we do adjust it, it would be added to the trust fund. It would be from free cash and adjustment to the trust fund. So you could vote on that number. That's not gonna change.
Right, so
So all the general funds, the funding should be from taxation.
Right.
Motion to recommend group insurance health
we'll
fund $7,650,000 from taxation. Motion second.
Second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Police, we did last week. Retirement, $4,329,820.
Yeah, we get that bill from the county and that's what our share is.
You know, we take the discount, right?
We do, we pay up front to get the discount.
But this amount is a fixed, it's a fixed amount determined by the state retirement fund. We owe it based upon,
Yeah, based on the number of retirees.
this is not negotiable or changeable.
Correct.
Motion to recommend $4,329,820 from taxation for retirement.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Recommended 5-0. Fire, we did last week. Debt, principal and interest, $3,902,850. Obviously,
That's another one that's non-negotiable. It's all debt that's been authorized.
and And I did tie that number out to the detailed listing that I received in an Excel file, so I'm comfortable with that number. Motion to recommend $3,902,850 from free cash for debt principal and interest.
Oh, free cash. So moved.
Second.
Free cash out. Oh,
Free cash or taxation?
Taxation.
Okay.
In taxation. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
aye,
Recommended 5-0. Highway we did last week, didn't we?
Yep.
Insurance, $823,500.
That's another one that we don't have I mean, we are very happy with the insurance coverage that we have and the firm that we're doing business with, the Mass Intergovernmental Insurance Agency, Maya represents most of the municipalities in Massachusetts, so they do an excellent job, and that is the estimate at this point in time for the renewal.
This covers the umbrella liability.
Covers the umbrella, all of our liability insurance, all of our property casualty,
Workers' comp.
workers' comp.
how do we get to go down $300,000?
How did it go down $300,000?
Yeah,
I don't think it did.
What number are we at?
well, we were 7,950 and this year it's 7,650. That's $300,000
What's the
down.
tab number, Joe?
Tab number is
29.
28, 20,
28 was property insurance.
20,
Yeah, 28.
It went up from 691 to 823.
Yeah, 823, right? Yeah.
Motion to recommend $823,500 from taxation.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
aye,
5-0.
Yeah, you stumped there for a minute, Joe.
I was in the wrong tab.
I was getting a little palpable.
MIS or information technology?
I got a question.
Yep.
Highway has a different number. It's one of the tabs we had to change that would. They voted on the 1,382,000, but it's 1,004,000.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
what's that?
So, do they need to revote it?
yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you gave them a new page on that. too.
Yeah, I did.
Which tab,
Tab 15. It would have been in this pamphlet that I gave you guys.
So John, the numbers that have changed that we got given tonight are not in the sheet that you sent over, that you sent to everybody?
yeah, we should have brought that up when Jesse was here.
Right.
Yeah. What was that change? You know what that change?
Yeah, it was his part-time personnel for Dawn.
Oh, okay, that's what it was, the part-time.
He
personnel.
forgot to,
Yeah, put that in yourselves for consulting services.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. So the new number is,
140765647.
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
so that's the corrected number.
Oh. What line item are we talking about?
Highway.
We are talking about line item 1,422,000,004,51140, part-time personnel. You'll see there was $1 in there that the department requested. On the summary,
Highway. So it's the 2, 4, 6, the sixth line down. Highway. On our sheet.
Under professional services, right?
Right.
Yep. And the number now,
So it's at 25-1.
right,
It's the same number we
it's
had last year.
$24,999 more, because there was $1 in there.
Oh, there was, okay.
The one that's under Yeah. 50 increase.
So we gotta go from 1,382,648 to 1,407,647.
Yes, yeah.
We're gonna revisit the highway recommendation that we made earlier.
Move to amend the vote on the highway to $1,407,647
From taxation.
from taxation.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Information system. She here?
Who's that? I was gonna say, because, she's still here. Karen was supposed to be on at 6 o'clock.
Oh, 6 o'clock. Is she on? Yeah, she's on now, okay.
She's been
She
here
on
for
now?
a little bit, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know if you can hear us, Karen. Maybe. She was supposed to be, yeah, I told her 6.
She's on, Karen's on mute.
Yeah.
So
Karen, you have to unmute yourself.
That's actually Pam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I think that's.
Pam.
No, Pam wouldn't be addressing these issues. Karen would be.
Karen's here too.
Oh, Karen is, okay.
Yeah.
Karen's moving too, okay.
Did you hear us?
Michelle's on the left, Karen's on the right.
I'm just sending her an email. She's good with emails, so.
All right, library, let's move on. $652,218. From taxation. Tab 30. Yeah.
Move to approve.
Second.
No real comments, anything?
No.
All right, motion to recommend $652,218 from tax.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0, recommend. Medicare, $617,400. Tab 31. 31. That's another number that's.
Yeah.
Motion to recommend $617,400 from taxation.
So move.
Second. All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, recommended 5-0. Well, I wanted to get through everything above $500,000 tonight. So do you want to keep on going through
Talk to the board, but that's fine.
more items?
Yeah, sure to me.
How do you want to do this? Because there's a lot of them to go through.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to start at the beginning, on.
How about we just,
Five.
how about I just read them out and if people want to ask
Yeah.
questions, you'll
Yeah, that's great.
stop me, okay? And I'm gonna read them as if it's a motion, so it would be a motion to recommend from free cash each of the following amounts
One from taxation, yeah.
from taxation.
Right.
Treasury, $418,463. Building maintenance, $402,591.
Yeah, check that shit, that's the one.
I can't,
You go to staff,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm flipping back and forth here. 'cause I
Building
want to take a look at
maintenance,
each one,
have it.
because some of the stuff I have notes on. Okay, building maintenance.
That's good as well.
Yeah.
When he gets to that.
I thought I
all
just-
right, we'll go back to,
just said it.
want to go back to treasury?
No, I'm fine with that one, but building maintenance, I just moved to it.
Yeah, we
Right.
did have a correction on the building maintenance. You got an update on that?
Right, it was an additional 10,000 to the telephone line item and 20,000 to property repair and maintenance. So the new number is $432,591. tab 9.
The telephone bill went up $15,000 estimated for this coming fiscal year.
Yeah, it has to do with, the, internet connections that we've made some changes, after the cyber issue we had last year. So, we'll have Wi-Fi that's totally separate from our system. Karen could explain it better than I could. And there's a cost associated with that, for the internet connections.
The T1 line from Verizon that we use, are we with Verizon or Comcast?
I would let Karen answer those questions, John, yeah. But that's what it's for. It's paying for the monthly service for the Wi-Fi at the fire station, that particular one.
The finance
Or
for,
you want to make a motion on the building maintenance? I mean, it's a plausible explanation. We've changed.
no, because I don't want to read every single number. I just want to go down the numbers.
I understand that.
500.
I asked the questions from the support stuff. I'm happy with the number. If everybody's happy with the number, we can vote on.
I don't want to vote on every single number below 500. We're gonna be here all night if we do that. Because that's not how we usually do. We don't usually vote every number, right?
Usually vote every department.
No.
You can do it however you want. I mean, sometimes you group them together and then vote on a bunch, however you want to do it.
So back to treasury collector. Motion to recommend 480,463 from taxation.
So moved.
Second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Recommended. Motion to recommend building maintenance, $432,591 from taxation.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, aye. Opposed?
Aye.
5-0 recommended. Finance. Is that changing or? 466,371.
20% is getting that the problem. Yeah, we got a big jump in professional services from 56.5 to 116.5.
That,
We adding personnel, we hiring,
that's for consulting.
what's that?
That's for consulting.
Okay. The big number, what are we doing different than we did previously?
We're still utilizing some services from Mary and one other professional consultant for various financial matters.
Any other
Nope.
comments?
Okay.
Motion to recommend 466,371 from taxation.
So,
Second. All those in favor, aye. Opposed?
Aye.
5-0.
Just to let you know, I just got a text from Pam. And Pam said that Karen's having difficulties with, she won't be able to connect tonight. She'll be in contact tomorrow. So I can schedule.
Town administrator. 57, is that T?
that is 53. We have a question.
What's that?
53.
53. It's going down. Any comments or questions?
No.
Motion to recommend.
So move.
Second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
5-0. Council on Aging.
Yeah, so we know where we stand on the renovations and the upgrades to the kitchen.
Yeah, supposed to start as soon as the weather breaks. They've got somebody lined up to put the form in there and get going on it, so it should be pretty quick. It's very small, the addition. I forget what the size is, like 12 by 15 or something. It's like a closet, yeah.
Any other comments? Motion to recommend 305,544 from taxation. Second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Recommend 4-0. We did snow, we did gas. Inspector, 257,599 from taxation.
Inspector. Which one, planning, plumbing, or? Yeah, that's building inspector.
Looks like building inspector.
You see, we got quite a jump in there, Dennis, is that because it's taken on additional duties? Department head salary?
Yeah,
Okay.
just something that was negotiated last year.
We rolled in, that 25,000.
Motion to recommend 257,599 from taxation.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Aye.
Recommended 5-0. Assessor, $338,098.
Okay, yes, administrative assistant grade 10 pass through. There went from, well, that's okay, it's a 51 to 57 number. Okay.
Any other comments on assessor?
Just a big jump in professional services, we're hiring outside people that was to do.
Yeah, part of the revale.
Okay,
Motion to recommend $338,098 from taxation.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Recommended 5-0. Personnel, 152.
which number is it? Thank you. You have one? Yes.
Which is it?
Personnel,
We're missing
Oh,
personnel.
there is no,
It's under human
oh, human
resources,
resources.
23.
I was thinking personnel boards, human resources,
You
right?
can't get rid of me that easily, Dennis.
Yeah.
this is 23. Any questions?
Nope.
Motion to recommend $194,798.
So moved.
Taxation, all those in
Second.
favor?
789, not 798.
Ken Harris.
789, not 798.
194, 789.
$194,789. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Recommended 5-0.
No questions for me.
No problem here. To recommend 177,602 from free cash.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. He did parks, health, 171,199.
No questions.
Any questions?
No, not for me.
Motion to recommend 171,199 from taxation.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
aye,
Recommended 5-0. Lights,
The Board of Health first. And the lights.
I think we use good health. No, we are at our.
I don't see the lights.
Yeah, I don't see a light.
Street lighting, is that what you're referring to? Yeah. Street lighting.
51, it's 51.
Okay, no questions on lights, $135,000.
How come we went down there, Dennis?
It more reflects what the actual cost is. If you look at what we're spending,
Okay.
that's, when we went to the LEDs, they got less expensive, so it did help.
So moved.
135,000. Those in favor, aye, opposed, recommended 5-0. Select Board, 167,661 from taxation. Any questions?
No.
Motion to recommend 167,661 from free cash, taxation. Second, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
5-0. Planning, $165,049.
Planning and change as well, okay.
Yeah,
And we did have a change on planning as well. That's your sheet you have.
that is tab 39.
For a change. We hiring a full-time person.
Yes.
Do we have them in the house or?
The select board appointed him on Monday, Rob Lucia, who is the associate member on the planning board. He has an extensive background. He's gonna get his PE in April.
So it's an engineer.
He's an engineer, so it's gonna be director of planning and engineering,
Okay.
a lifelong resident of town. He graduated from Bellingham High School in 2010 or 11, so it's nice to have a hometown product.
PE in civil engineering or?
Yes, that's what he's going for, I know. And right now, he works for an engineering firm. And what his primary responsibility is doing peer reviews for development projects, which is exactly what we contract a lot of stuff out for. So he'll be working with the DPW, assisting with the Board of Health on Title V, he has a Title V certification. But his primary responsibility will be for planning. So kind of the jack of all trades. And we worked with him quite a bit on boards and committees, the ad hoc groups, so
Do they have any familiarity with roads?
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Candidate for the road committee.
Yeah, definitely, he'll be on the road committee,
Okay.
yeah. So that's what that is, we're going back to a full-time,
Okay. So Jimmy's all done now?
yeah, his line items went down considerably from, I think, down to. We kept 10,000 in there for consulting services, but that's it.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Motion to recommend 236,579 from taxation for planning.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
aye,
Opposed?
One other thing, I know you already voted on it, but we actually took on, we took out of the Conservation Commission an administrative position that's no longer needed in conservation because the assistant planner that's funded in this budget will be handling that. So what this shows a substantial increase, but 35,000 of that is a cut in the Conservation Commission budget, so it's not as big of an increase as it appears to be.
Actually, it's only $8,000 increase.
Not
Increase in
the
the
bottom
assistant
line, yeah.
town planner.
Yeah.
We're talking thousands, right?
54.
Town clerk. 107,900. From taxation. Any comments, questions?
Yeah, we hired another part-time person in there.
It's really a consolidation. He's taking it out of some of the other line items and joining them together from his elections and registrars and all that junk. So it comes out to basically just be utilizing money that he's bringing in from some of the other line items. So some of the other ones I think went down to offset it.
So that's gonna, it was two part-time personnel in there, or?
There's one part-time personnel that's there on an ongoing basis and one that you keep command when there's election and things like that.
That's gonna be this one.
Yep.
That's it.
Motion to recommend $207,900 taxation. Second,
Second.
all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0, recommend. Veterans, 164,787 from taxation.
I see you increased the benefits because we're getting more activity.
There's a lot of activity and 75% of that is reimbursed on the cherry sheet, so we get 75% of that back from the state. But yeah, we are getting, he's doing a good job. He and Donna, so the two of them.
Motion to recommend. Second, all those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? Recommended 5-0. Council. Not sure what that is.
56.
Same number.
Same number.
Is this outside legal counsel?
That's our town council, right?
Attorney, okay.
Copeland and Page. Well, I shouldn't say that, KP Law. Not Copeland and Page, it's KP Law.
Questions? Motion to
Everybody
recommend.
satisfied with them?
Some more than others. I know I've been very happy with them. Yeah.
Motion to recommend $110,000 from taxation. Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Elections, $124,600 from taxation. Any questions?
No, probably for the presidential. election.
Yeah, reflects the number of elections we're gonna have here next year.
Motion to recommend $124,600 from taxation.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Aye.
Recommended 5-0. Conservation,
That's another one. That's the one that went down.
94,978 from.
So we have an adjustment on that one, Hank?
Yep, I passed them out.
Okay, so you've got any page on that one? Conservation?
Yeah, well,
94,978.
yes, yep.
That's a reduction that I was referring to, that offset the planning, plan I went up, just went down.
Any questions? No. Motion to recommend 94,978 from taxation.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? 5-0. We're gonna do these in a group. OPEB, other post-employment benefits, $50,000. Any questions?
We went down on 50,000, is that?
Yeah, we'll probably look to, add to that in November when we certify free cash.
Reserve, under I don't, actually, I don't know what reserve that is. It's, Department 132.
Yeah, that's the,
That's the reserve fund.
reserve fund. Yeah.
42.
Reserve. Reserve for what?
That's a reserve fund. That we have an emergency in town that's not budgeted, we get the vote.
Reserve for anything?
And that's, recommended to level fund at 50,000.
Oh, going back down, because the request was 75, right?
We had hoped to bring it in at 75, but we dropped it down to 50. We can bring it up again, we will.
We haven't spent any money this year, have we, Heidi?
We have.
No.
Oh, so that was 50,000 last year.
Right, it was, yeah. It's level funded.
Tax title, 50,000. Questions? Compensation absent fund went down from 50 to 0.
Yep.
Revaluation. 45,000. Comments, questions? What's OCCUB, occupational something?
Occupational therapy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the, our, nursing program, yeah, but
Yep.
You baby?
Occupational physical health.
right.
It's up $1,000. Any questions?
No.
Town common, 35,300. Plumbing, 32,806. Tree warden, 48,700.
No, we voted that last week.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Electrical, 29,605. On the job injury, 25,000. Disability, 20,500.
Voted by electrical.
Oh, what?
Did we do electrical?
Yeah.
Okay.
Memorial, 18,000. Transfer to workers' comp, 125,000. It's 15,000 last year.
Which one is that, John? I'm sorry.
Transfer to workers' comp.
I think it's tab 62.
That, do you want
I'm getting the tab.
I got that 62, that's the bank.
Oh, I'm sorry.
61.
Yeah, 61.
Oh, those are all the transfers. Okay, which one you guys down, Joe? The workers' comp? Or compensated absence?
No, I think it's tab 61 you're referring to.
Yeah. Did you have a particular one you were asking about, Joe?
No, I just couldn't find the tab.
Oh, okay.
Under his designation, that's all. We do have a CIP trust, what the hell's that one?
Capital Improvement Trust Fund.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Any other questions on the 125,000?
No.
Cemetery, 9,451. Zoning, 8,000.
We
We did
cemetery
cemetery last week.
Yeah, but I don't have a system where I can keep track of that.
Okay, well,
Zoning, 8,000. Arts, 7,500. Historic, 7,000. Finance Committee, 5,682. reports, $1,115 and $100, all from taxation. Any comments on any of those numbers? We're gonna vote on together. Starting with the $50,000 for OPEB. Any comments, discussion points, questions? To recommend
In taxation.
from taxation, second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 4-0. What, 4-0?
Yeah, not a speak out of job.
Jack's what? Jack's here.
Yeah. You didn't see the little yellow thing around his box. He made a sounds.
Okay.
Ready, other items we have to address tonight?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
No, but we did want to go over the special town meeting.
All right, yes. So we did receive a petition for a special town meeting. We'll be having a special town meeting on May 1st. It's one article, you have it there in front of you. It has to do with changing the zoning as it relates to warehouses, but we just want that we'll have a public hearing with the planning board. So my understanding is you would not want to hold a public hearing on that, is that right? Okay, we'll let the petitioner know, because they will be appearing before the planning board. The second or the fourth Thursday in April, if you're interested in tuning into the planning board hearing to hear what it's all about, it's the fourth Thursday in April, whatever date that is. So this will be held, it'll be the only item on the warrant and be at 7:30 at typical town meeting. It wouldn't surprise me if there's a fair number of people there, since this has been getting a lot of attention, the warehouse situation in town. Getting a lot of attention with regard to people looking to curb the number of warehouses there are. Wouldn't affect any existing ones, it would curb future warehouse sightings in town.
Do they expect a lot of proponents for warehousing at the meeting or at the town meeting?
It's hard to say. I mean, if you remember, we had a zoning amendment go before town meeting 2 years ago to rezone from industrial to residential. A parcel on Maple Street, right by the overpass, and it failed. There were people there fighting to keep it industrially zoned, and now it's being, it's before the planning board now for a 50,000 square foot warehouse. People are showing up very upset about it, but at the same time, it went to town meeting said, don't leave it industrial.
That's what it's zoned for.
Yeah. Yeah. So. So I can't really tell you. I know that the people, it took 200 signatures for a special town meeting, so I would imagine there'll be some people there in favor of the article, but there may be people that are opposed to it as well. I don't know.
No, because I saw they started clearing that area a little bit
That's
near the
been a
road.
long time, yeah. They've been
Yeah.
at that a long time.
Yeah.
On the west side of the street.
Right.
So Hillary had sent an email, I don't know, to have them come in, so we don't.
I was thinking that you needed, Hillary and I were talking, but I forgot that you don't hear items that don't have a financial, well, you could argue that it has a financial impact on the town since it's rezoning from residential to, or banning a use, but it's really not even a zoning change, it's
I
more
think the financing
amendment
part
to the
that
zoning.
applies to us has to do with appropriations. in the
Right,
current
and it's
budget.
nothing, this does not have any appropriation tied to it. So. Might be able to. Not have that one. If that's your choice, yeah.
No business. No business, money business.
I have my meeting minutes from the last one.
You have emails? Correspondence or bills?
I think we should schedule, the superintendent from the BVP to come pay us a visit regarding the $10,000,
$10 million.
$10 million, yeah.
You also had an article on there for a stabilization fund, to create a stabilization fund, but that's been removed. That was in an earlier draft, if you saw it, but it's just the one article from BET now, the $10 million bond.
Is there gonna be, are they presenting to the select board on the same subject?
I think the
That we
select
can
board will,
attend?
I think I'll let the select board know to attend your meeting.
Oh, so they're gonna come here?
I think that's how it should work. They have to appear before you, so rather than have Dr. Fitzpatrick come out twice for the same thing.
Okay, I just wanted to go to the other one. They were gonna
Yeah.
explain it there, so I have some type of
Yeah,
reference as to what they're talking about.
yeah, so they want to put a new roof on, so it's a $10 million.
The monetary items get the vote on it anyway.
Right.
We just don't know what the formula is.
So I should be asking to come to the next meeting or?
Whatever you choose. I do it sooner rather than later.
Okay.
So for the record, I'll say, I don't understand why our article reads to see if the town will vote to approve the $10 million debt authorization. I don't understand why $10 million is not our,
Yeah. It's the total, as opposed to our share, is that what you mean?
right?
Yeah.
That's the part
Yeah, that's a question you can certainly ask.
that's the part I don't understand.
Yeah. Because it is they're estimating it to be a $10 million project. I know some of the other towns are saying, find out what your SBA, or MSBA reimbursement is going to be. And then let us know what the net cost to us is going to be.
Well, they reimburse for a roof because it's a replacement. It's not
I
a
guess-
construction.
Yeah, I think they are filing for that, is what I understand. Well, a few questions there that let's have them come in to discuss.
So the one line item we did not vote on was IT, right? We did not vote on that one.
Right.
All right. All right, are there any other items for,
We have any idea when the schools coming in? Our schools, Bellingham system. I don't know.
Not yet, but I'm gonna,
Oh, the school department, I thought they were coming into, they're coming before the select board, Monday night. They'll come in whenever you request they come in, I'm sure,
yeah, I'm gonna find out when our next meeting is, which I think is in 2 weeks.
yeah, okay.
And then select board's not meeting that night, so I could have them, you know, put the extra room.
We're gonna need them for the capital committee because they've got some capital items that believe.
school is gonna present to the select board Monday night, their budget?
Yes,
They are.
they are gonna, yeah, the select board had asked them to come in, so they'll be presenting Monday night. But obviously they'll be coming before your board as well.
Are we meeting next Monday night?
Capital is,
Okay, so I'll go to that one, so I can hear
Yeah.
the presentation there.
And that was gonna be what I had asked you earlier, is that I have 3 members that are finance that are on capital. So if you could come to that one, we could do finance and capital together. The meeting,
That doesn't have anything to do with the school you're talking about.
no, we have a
Okay.
capital meeting next Monday before the school stuff comes in for select board.
and they also, I believe they have capital items coming forward too for us, right? Over 50,000, so they're here, they can come to our meeting
All right,
downstairs. What time of meeting next week?
5:15,
Okay.
it'll be up here.
You're up here, yeah, but I don't know if they will be ready for 5:15. The school committee, because they're planning on coming in at 7.
I think they may be.
I have a few I have police, fire and DPW coming in next Monday.
Okay. What's DPW coming in for? Capital?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'm sorry.
We
He
just did
did
the
that
capital,
tonight. I
yeah.
took him off my list. Yeah, so I don't know those
Police and
schools.
fire. Okay, you might want to save them for the fall meeting.
Yeah.
We're gonna need, to do the capital on his well expansion or remediation. It's over 100, it's over 50,000. He's still gonna get the formality of a vote from the capital committee.
Yeah, he was on my initial list. I don't know why I just agreed. He was on come on. Jesse, I had already sent out emails to. And, police department, he's not even in this weekend. He replied to me and said that was fine. So Monday, I do have police, fire and Jesse.
Okay.
So it might be a little much with schools. So I might have to put them off.
Yep.
Following week.
Took a big bite out of it tonight.
Yeah, ate the whole apple, just got the core left to ignore on.
A lot of the numbers, there's nothing you can do about, so.
Exactly, yeah, yeah. And one of the things that I brought up, I know you heard what I had to say at the select board meeting. A lot of people ask, with all the growth in town, how is it that we don't have more money to spend? Where's all the money going? But when you consider the tax levy itself, Proposition 2.5, generated about $1.3 million in new tax revenue. New growth, we're estimating, will generate about $1 million of new tax revenue. So that's $2.3 million in new revenue that we have to spend. We had requests that were about 3.5 million that we had to backpedal down to the 2.3 million. Local aid basically is level funded, so there's no new local aid. So really, the growth that we have had over the last few years has been what has enabled us to maintain level services. There are a lot of communities, I know Franklin, I know Blackstone, Hopedale's quite a few communities that are struggling to make ends meet this year. And just to maintain level services. So really, the growth has enabled us to maintain what we have and not really put anything dramatically new on the table. So,
I don't think people realize, when they say no more warehouses and no more industry and stuff, that every time we build a new house, there's a deficit to our tax burden because what they pay in house taxes doesn't even cover the cost of education for one kid.
yeah, it's true, but yeah, I'll say our enrollment hasn't gone up, but a big part of the reason our enrollment hasn't gone up is because we do have a substantial number of students that elect for school choice and also the charter school in Franklin. We have about $4 million in expenses that follows those students to other schools.
It's 4 million.
Yeah, if you look at the cherry sheet, between the charter school
Yeah.
charges and school choice, it's about $4 million, John.
We have a lot of family students sent to private school.
Right. We don't get hit on the cherry sheet directly for that. We get hit directly for the ones that go to the charter schools and the ones that go somewhere else for education. So, school choice. So it's just, families have more options today than they ever did before when they want to send their children.
In the summary that you just talked about, where the additional construction in Bellingham has made it a lot easier for us to avoid substantial tax increases. When do you expect that to stop, the construction to level out? And it's got to be in the very short term, right?
It's really not. There's so much housing, and it used to be, I understand what you're saying with housing, it's a net deficit, but really it hasn't worked against us because our school enrollment hasn't dramatically increased, hasn't increased at all. And these homes they're building now are 800, the ones that are being built across the street from the DFW are selling for $800,000. So that's a substantial tax payment. You're talking, we still have all of Bungay Brook that's being developed, this entire subdivision behind us that's gonna be developed. So there's growth, unless the economy tanks and builders stop building approved projects, there's a fair amount coming, and there's still the WS project behind Home Depot, that's, almost a $200 million project,
What are they building there?
a warehouse.
Another warehouse?
Yeah, 700,000 square feet, it'll access right onto Hartford Avenue from the warehouse, it's behind. It's, I was gonna look to see if there actually is
Yeah,
a,
that was my question. Where's it gonna get on the road? It's not gonna go right onto 495, right?
no, it's gonna come right out the plaza there, they're expanding the egress at the plaza where Home Depot is. And it'll have a special dedicated lane for the truck traffic that's coming and going back to that development.
So it's gonna come out right on the Hartford Avenue.
Yeah, that's why the Hartford Avenue roadway improvements that we've been talking about for a while, those have to be completed before they can open. So there's some dramatic lane changes and widening that's going on right there on that stretch of 495.
Because we've always needed more traffic on Hartford Avenue.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't go that way. I can't leave my house after 3:30.
yeah, right. Yeah, you'll find out.
Otherwise, I just sit in my car.
So there is still a fair amount of development in the next few years. Yeah,
And how big is that warehouse gonna be behind Home Depot?
700,000 square feet.
That's gonna be a warehouse.
Really?
Yeah,
They run a rail line into it, you know?
no. Yeah,
I would never have guessed that.
yeah, that's been going through the planning stages for about a year and a half. They've been before the planning board and conservation commission, et cetera. Which is part of the reason people want to pass sign the ordinance to say, okay, we've got enough warehouses. You know,
Do they have a company they're already targeting for it to be the tenant there, or is this a speculative 700?
they build these things speculatively. I know,
Is that also true of the one at Hartford and on the 140 in Maple?
it
Yeah,
was speculative. I don't know if they have somebody yet, but it was built speculatively.
That was speculative, they got a sign right out there, it's built for speculation, you know?
Yep. Same thing with the Trimark, same thing with Amazon. They didn't know Amazon was going there until the thing had been built and was sitting for several years.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
one of the warehouses they built on 146 as you head towards Worcester, which is like, I haven't been by in a little while, but it was still empty.
Right.
That's 1 million square feet.
That was supposed to be an Amazon and Amazon put the brakes on it.
Right, but it's 1 million square feet, so. I'll state saying the obvious, why would they build a 700,000 here if there's 1 million square feet empty on
Yeah.
146?
Yeah,
As far as the way they need that too.
yeah. They love this location because Mass Pike 95, you're right on 495, so they
Yeah.
like this geographical.
Yeah, but
location.
they still got all the locations right in Milford and that's traffic too.
They
Yeah.
probably closed that location in Milford because they had nothing problems with it.
Oh, really?
Inside, yeah. I think more stuff now comes out of Bellingham than comes out of Milford.
I can believe it. Yeah.
So to answer your question, I think this growth is gonna continue for, the foreseeable future,
I
just
would
based
say-
on what's been approved.
I was thinking just the opposite, that it was gonna start to slow down
Yeah.
really quick.
Not in my lifetime, maybe in yours, but not.
Wow.
Uh,
Do you have a voucher for us this week?
I'm sorry,
You have a voucher for us this
No.
week, next week?
So is the finance committee meeting next Monday?
no, next Monday is capital.
We don't, you don't need a Monday? The week after that, maybe?
Right, Dennis, the week after next,
Yeah, definitely.
for finance,
Yeah, I would have the school committee come in there and anything else.
You
That's
can,
my-
right?
Yeah, that's my-
Or at least the BVT.
right,
right,
So for MIS, she knows that basically what I want to hear is that we're current on all of our software. The software that's out there that we should have, and we're in a better position than most other towns. We're not behind, and she's got the funding she needs
Yeah.
to prevent ransomware and
right,
the same
Yeah.
questions as I asked.
yeah, rent updates she'll give you, yeah,
But
Yeah.
she's in that position, so there's no,
Yeah.
she's got the funding.
she does, and she expressed that at the select board's hearing as well,
All right,
so.
so, and one of my comments is always, if there's something out there that you really would like to have that you need, it's only 50,000, you should put it in the budget,
Right,
obviously.
I thought you were gonna write a check, John.
You probably don't want to add ransomware to your resume at this point in time. Because that'll be the day I resign.
yeah. I already retired once.
You never know when you're gonna get hacked. I get hacked from China and Bangladesh. You got that
Is that
email?
why I got that email?
China and Bangladesh, same day.
I got an email, he wanted to know if he could use my Amazon account. So I called him, I said, really?
Sure.
I've never sent John an email in my life. I called my phone. There's no record that way.
And it was, so I got an email, my personal email, and I got an email from him on the same thing to my work email. To my, in the company. I don't know how they did that, but
Yeah.
Listen, I got emails from I know somebody in Denmark. I got an email from them. I got two from India. I think, gee, it was a bitch to get that taken care of too.
My Facebook got hacked.
Anybody give you permission to use their Amazon account?
Yeah, they turned it into an ice.
I got
cream.
several
All my
people
friends were
call
like,
me.
I don't think this is you. I'm like, no, that.
No,
not me."
they're actually, they're looking for a gift card, $200 gift card.
Oh, yeah, Classic.
But I mean, I didn't have the email for 5 days. I shut everything down.
Yeah.
And changed all my passwords, and then I had the computer guy come in and, clean it up and see where the hell it happened. And just, China and Bangladesh, same day.
Oh, for the good old days when it was just Nigerian princes.
It's scary.
can I ask one question?
Right down the street.
Up on Hartford Avenue where the three houses that were, is there anything going on with those?
Nothing at the moment.
McAfee does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
So the owner has no plans for those, he's not gonna tear them down?
Not that we've heard of immediately. Supposedly, he's
This is the first time.
gearing up for it, but that's been the case for over a year now.
Yeah.
So we're just hoping that they get on soon.
Okay.
Quite an eyesore.
And it's kinda,
Yeah. I know,
We missed our chance.
yes.
People voting against the traffic. I missed my chance. My daughter married into a military family. 2 or 3 guys worked in the Pentagon, high ranking. So I could have put in a request to Carpet bomb up to Uxbridge. It's the only way you make a dent in the traffic.
any other items? Well, we,
There's the minutes.
Yeah, got minutes.
I don't know, okay, but I didn't.
these are the ones I already reviewed.
I'm good.
Any comments or questions? Motion to approve the minutes? Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Five. Anything else? Well, we. Anybody with a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
everybody.
Aye.
Aye.
Voted?
Thank you.
Adjourned.
Well, good night.
Good night, Jack.
Good night.
Hey, Dennis.